we are not perfect, and our institutions too are not perfect. So there are bound to be lacunas. There are bound to be voids in our way of doing things. And if for anything, Madam Speaker, most of the voids or the vacuums have been adequately filled by the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters. And I want to commend them for a job well done. Matters pertaining to criminal justice system borders on our lives and our livelihoods as well. If attempts are made to cleanse that domain, Madam Speaker, I think they ought to be commended. And I want to thank you for a job well done, and I hope these amendments will go a long way in addressing some of the ills that are inherent in our criminal justice system. Thank you very much.
I did ask any interventions. Well, Honorable Bully is then, Vice Chair, in the absence of, well, I think honorable members will agree with me that I did ask many times whether anybody, any honorable member wanted to make an intervention. Yes, now he's raising his time. Earlier on, I did not see it. Yes, Serekunda and any other member, we still have time. We can take more interventions, but let me just record it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I raised it, but I raised it in a hesitant manner because of my opposition to this whole bill.
I'm glad you clarified it.
Honorable Speaker, I was battling with my conscience since we have said we've already dealt with the merits of the bill, and I was trying to find out how I can put my opposition to it in such a manner that I will not also infringe on what we should do, that is consider the report and consider any section mentioned in terms of the bill. Honorable Speaker, the bill has an object. I would love to see what the committee says about the object of the bill. The bill provides for mutual assistance between the Republic of the Gambia and other countries. Other countries. Honorable Speaker, countries do not have the same judicial system. And criminal law is about due process. And tyrants exist all over the world. And Honorable Speaker, there is no limit. And here we are dealing with a minister refusing or accepting. So the might of the executive is what comes to bear in any request that is made. And here we're talking about collection of evidence. We have our laws which says you should not maintain the detention of somebody for more than 72 hours. So what happens is a whole process, Honorable Speaker, where gross injustice could be done. And this is not new. Many people, as I said, I don't want to go back to the merit. Honorable Speaker, maybe what I will do is simply say that I would have wanted the committee to really look at this, the nature of such legislation, and ask ourselves whether a sovereign republic should really have such legislation. My position is that this bill should be rejected outright.
Any more? No? Thank you. Honorable Vice Chair, can you respond? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I thank the plenary for the support. We have the only contentious member that is relating to whether a sovereign country should go into this mutual assistance. Well, we've raised this issue with the ministry, and this is mutual assistance, helping each other. We have, or whether we have or not, we will have need for assistance from other countries, and other countries will need assistance from us. I could remember raising this particular issue during the meeting. So, and this is also on a case-by-case basis. It's left to us to decide whether we will deal with this country, we'll have mutual assistance with this country, or we will not have. That is also left to the Gambia. It's not a force. Because I raised that also, whether other countries have also ratified the same. But all countries have theirs, according to the information. And before we go into having this assistance with anybody, we should look at what they have, how they want to do it, so that if it is in our interest, we go into it. If it is not in our interest, then we don't have to go into it. So it's entirely left to the Gambia to decide who and who you will enter into this type of assistance. That's all that I can say about this. Hopefully when the minister comes, he may be also able to dilate on this. But we've not seen anywhere where we can derogate from the sovereignty of this country, as far as the bill is concerned. That's why we have accepted to recommend to you to accept the proposal. So I thank everybody for the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Vice Chair, members of the committee, and honorable members. Now I'll put the question, be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters on the Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters Bill 2019. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. So the ayes have it. Thank you once more. And the next stage, which is the consideration stage of the bill, is now scheduled for a later date as per the agenda that has been circulated. Clerk, can we proceed with the next item on the order paper? Thank you.
Thank you. Motion, be it resolved that this August Assembly do consider and approve the motion to amend the Standing Orders of the National Assembly 2019 edition by the Right Honorable Celia S. Jetta, Chairperson, Standing Orders Committee.
Yes, Honorable. I'm sorry, the mic was off. You can move your motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, allow me to come back again today before this Assembly, propose amendments to our standing orders. The object is simple. When we first laid the amendment before you some time ago, they were debated and suggestions were made. The committee decided to go back to the drawing table to consider your suggestions and tidy the proposed amendments. I think you all have copies of the proposed amendments. Madam Speaker, one is a motion to amend the Standing Orders 2015 edition of the National Assembly in accordance with clauses 110(2) of the Standing Orders. Amendments of the Standing Orders. Standing Orders 2019 edition of the National Assembly in this motion referred to as the Standing Orders is amended as set out in this motion. 3. Amendment of Standing Order 16. Standing Order 16 voting is amended by A, deleting the letter B in subparagraph 13 of the Standing Orders. B, inserting after paragraph 14 the following new paragraph 15. In any instance where the Constitution requires a fixed majority to decide on a question, the Assembly shall not proceed to a vote on that question unless and until a number of members equivalent to such fixed majority is present at the time for voting. This is the amendment proposed. Amendment of Standing Order 53, Standing Order 53, motion which may be made without notice is amended by A, inserting the words or motion immediately after the word bill in paragraph E. B, replacing the number 9 with number 13 in paragraph L. The Honorable Member for Brikama had some problem, but we had a discussion with him and then he now sees what exactly it is meant. 5, amendment of Standing Order 61. Standing Order 61, debate of motions and amendments is amended by A, inserting after paragraph 1, the following new paragraph 2 and 3. 2, the Assembly may, on a motion made by the Assembly Business Committee in accordance with this standing order, impose a limit in respect of debate on any particular motion or bill by allotting a limited period of time for such debate or by limiting the time during which members may speak in such debate or by imposing both such limitations. That's the amendment. 3, a motion for limiting debate under this standing order may be made without notice, provided that such motion shall not be made in the course of the debate to which it refers unless it is moved after adjournment of such debate and before the debate is resumed. 6, amendment of cross-heading other orders. Standing other orders is amended by inserting immediately before subheading 143, visiting dignitaries, the following new subheading and paragraphs. 143, members traveling outside the Gambia. 1, members intending to travel both within or outside the Gambia, A, in an official capacity, shall give notice to the Speaker to that effect. B, in private capacity that affects his or her official functions, shall give notice to the Speaker to that effect. C, or in any other capacity, may give notice to the Speaker to that effect, indicating 1, the purpose and destination intended to be visited, 2, the dates of intended travel and period of absence, 3, the telephone contact and postal or physical address of their stay during the period of absence. 3, all information submitted under the standing order shall be kept in a register which the clerk shall maintain for that purpose and shall not be disclosed to any person without the permission of the Speaker. 7, Amendment to Standing Order 97, cross-heading, remit of all committees. Standing Order 97, remit of all committees, is amended by inserting immediately after subheading 97, remit of all committees, the following new subheadings and paragraphs. 98, vote of no confidence in the chairperson, vice chairperson, and head of delegation to international institutions. 1. A committee or delegation may, by resolution supported by a majority of its members, pass a vote of no confidence on the chairperson, vice chairperson, or head of delegation on the grounds specified in paragraph 3 of this standing order, and such resolution shall be reported to the committee of selection, which shall, as soon as it is practicable, arrange for the election of a new chairperson, vice chairperson, or head of delegation from among members of the committee or delegation, as the case may be. Two, the members desiring to make a resolution under paragraph 1 shall serve the chairperson, vice chairperson, or head of delegation with a written notice, and may, if they constitute a majority, request the clerk to call for a meeting at the expiry of 3 days after the giving of such notice. 3, a vote of no confidence on the chairperson, vice chairperson, or head of delegation under paragraph 1 may only be initiated on the following grounds. A, abuse of the position or violation of any provision of these standing orders. B, incompetence, including impartiality of judgment. 3, conducts himself or herself in a manner which brings or is likely to bring his or her position or the committee into contempt or disrepute. D, dishonestly or any action or any other action or factor which impedes the effective operations of the committee. 99, reports of committees. The report of the committee shall be signed by the chairperson on behalf of the committee, provided that if the chairperson is absent or is not readily available, the vice chair shall sign, and in the absence of both the chairperson and the vice chairperson, the committee shall nominate another member to sign the report. 2, a committee shall adopt its report in a meeting attended by a majority of its members before it is tabled at the assembly. Minister's report. Within 30 days of a resolution of the assembly or adoption of any report of a committee, the minister under whose portfolio the matter raised in the report or contained in the assurances or resolution 4 shall provide a report to the assembly. 2, a minister who fails to submit a report under these standing orders shall be deemed to be in contempt of the assembly within the meaning of section 75(6) of the Constitution, misconduct in office. 8, correction of the referencing and numbering. All the referencing, cross-referencing, and renumbering in the standing orders affected by this amendment to be reflected and corrected by the clerk accordingly. The objects and reasons, I think, are well. The amendment motion seeks to amend the standing order to the National Assembly 2019 edition to grant further independent authority to honorable members of the Assembly in the conduct of its business, and also harmonize the recent precedents of the Assembly and for matters connected therewith. The amendment also seeks to provide more clarity and procedure on the powers of members in electing and removing vote of no confidence, chairperson, vice chairperson of committees, and then the heads of delegation. It places obligation on ministers to provide updates to the Assembly on any report or resolution adopted by the Assembly. Madam Chair, Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much. Any second? Yes, Opasalum.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And I rise to second the motion. And I want to also take this opportunity to thank the Standing Order Committee for really listening to the members of the Parliament here. Because I think Section 108, subsection 1 of the 1997 Constitution is really very clear. It gives the Parliament the responsibility to regulate its own procedures, and I think this is exactly what the committee is doing. Now, Honorable Speaker, I have two areas that I wanted the move of the motion to help me understand. The first one is on page 1, which is on amendment number 5. On amendment number 5, number 3 is saying a motion for limitation of debate under this standing order may be made without notice. And, but also, if you look at our current standing orders, clause 53 is also indicating motions really that doesn't need notice. So I'm not so sure whether this is the appropriate place to put it on section 61, clause 61, or clause 53. So I wanted him to explain to me why they prefer to put it under clause 61 instead of clause 53. That gives really the kind of motions that you can make without notice. Now, also on the page 3. On page 3, 100 ministers report. Now, in this one, within number 1, within 30 days of a resolution of the Assembly or adoption of any report or of a committee, the minister under whose portfolio the matter raised in the report or contained in the assurances or resolution fall shall provide a report to the Assembly. I'm not really very clear about the kind of, are you talking about the report or a response to the report that was laid here? Because on this here, they indicated a report to the Assembly. So I'm not sure if the choice of what is the right one. Is it a report or a response to whatever? So I really need some clarification there. Because I was thinking it could be a response to whatever we laid instead of a report, provide a report on a report. If you understand what I mean, Honorable Chair. So those are the two areas I have. Outside that, I'm okay with the amendments itself. But those are the two areas really I wanted more explanation from the Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Birkama North.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Yes. Oh, just a second. You see. Thank you very much. I mean, it has been moved and seconded. Yes, that this Honorable Assembly do consider the motion to amend the standing orders of the National Assembly, that's the 2019 edition. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. So the ayes have it. Any honorable member who wishes to take part may do so now. I call on the honorable member for Birkama North. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, and the chairperson of the committee, actually, as he rightly indicated, after the debate, I did consultation with him and the secretary to the committee. Clarification was made on the point that I observed under Standing Order 53, that's supposed to be amended. I was saying there is no number in 9, but the number 9 is reflected on the paragraph I. And that is what is requested to be changed to number 13, because in the standing order, number 9 is referring to the vacancy in the position of the Speaker, where 13 is referring to the adjournment. So that was a wrong numbering in the standing order that they tried to correct. Well noted, and it's correct, it's in line. But Madam Speaker, during the course of the debate, there was concern on the vote of no confidence on the chairperson and vice chairperson, and suggestions were made for grounds to be established. I think there has been development and grounds are provided, as to what should result to the need for passing a resolution to remove the Kerr and Vice Kerr. Perhaps, maybe if I got the Honorable Member for Jara East right, his concern was, how about ordinary members? I think that was the other point that Honorable Member for Jara East was alluding to. If you go to Amendment 99, page 3, on the signing of the report of the committee, I think suggestion went further to say, in the absence of the Kerr, the Vice Kerr can come, and in the absence of both the Kerr and the Vice Kerr, we take the hierarchy in the committee. Instead of opening it to any member, we give chance to rapporteurs. I think that was the only, perhaps, omission maybe. We said let's give chance to rapporteurs, that is, in the absence of the Kerr and Vice, any of the rapporteurs can sign for the committee. Maybe in the absence of the Chair, Vice Chair, and the rapporteurs, the committee can nominate any member. I think this is the only observation as far as I could recall. On that, I thank the committee for capturing all the observations that were made by the plenary. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Central Badibu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. Madam Speaker, I think the Standing Order Committee did a great job by looking at the recommendations put up by the honorable members on the floor of the National Assembly here. Most of the issues raised are addressed very well. Madam Speaker, notwithstanding, I have a concern on the amendment of Standing Order 61. 61, debate of motions and amendments is amended by inserting after paragraph 1, the following new paragraphs 2 and 3. Madam Speaker, as far as I'm concerned, there is no need for the amendment of this particular standing order. As it is, I'm really comfortable with it. Because I think members should be given the liberty to express themselves. Sometimes you might have a very important motion to debate on or issue to discuss. And we know we have distractors. Sometimes some people come only to distract. If such motions are available, they can come up with that motion to limit people, to talk on essence. So what I'm saying, I for one, we leave it as it is, where it is stated, with your permission, when the motion has been moved and seconded in the assembly, the speaker shall put the question thereon to the assembly in the same term as the motion. Debate may then take place upon the question and may continue so long as any member wishes to speak who is entitled to do so, subject to any time allocation applied by the Assembly Business Committee. Sometimes, you might like to convince the House on something. So, but if you are not given time, you cannot. We have been seeing, when the mover himself, sometimes he will be hot, or he'll be in the high gear to put a case. So if this thing is available, unless I'm not well, enlightened about it, but for me, I see it as a restriction. So I think members should be given that opportunity to be able to dwell more on the issue. That's my own understanding, unless the mover helped me to, enlighten me more, the need for it. I haven't seen the need. Now, coming to the, in a situation where a member, a chairperson is not present, or the vice chair, the rapporteur, I for one, it should be open. I'm supporting now with the view that any other member, because in a situation where you don't have the rapporteur, where will you move now? Do you understand? And in some committees, these rapporteurs are not recognized, they are not functional. Yes, some of the committees, in fact, they have declined totally. They said once the secretaries are there, they are not going to do any work. So for me, we make it open. That's my observation. Thank you.
Jara East.
Madam Speaker, thank you, Madam, for giving me the floor. Madam Speaker, I attended the meeting of the Standing Orders Committee at the instance of the chair. When I was looking for my good friend and colleague, Honorable Sao, I bumped into them while they were having a meeting, and the chair welcomed me. I must thank the chair for that. Madam Speaker, I'm very much satisfied with the recommendations of this report. It goes without saying, seeing is believing. And he who wears the shoe knows where it pinches. I was there. So I can give an eyewitness account. Madam Speaker, I have no problem with this report as far as I am concerned. The only problem I have, the only problem, is only one, the only problem. It's not many. The only problem, Madam Speaker, I'm seeing these standing orders as a plan, what you call a plan of action for members of this August Assembly. And Madam, when you have a plan, the essence of having a plan is to allow the plan to degenerate into action. Then it becomes a good plan. If a plan is there and the plan is not catalyzed into action, it is as futile as its non-existence. That's my problem. When you have standing orders, we have a constitution. Madam, they must be obeyed in total. That's the long and short of it. Many a times, members will, be in contravention of clause 26(2) of the standing order. Many a times, members will be in contravention of clause 29(4) of the standing order. With your permission, Madam Speaker, which reads 29(4), it shall be out of order to use offensive and insulting language about members of the Assembly. Madam, this is self-explanatory. In essence, what this clause is telling us that the activities of this National Assembly should be characterized by temperate language as opposed to intemperate language. That's how we should relate. It should be purely characterized by temperate language as opposed to intemperate language. There is no room for vulgar language here. Madam Speaker, I think members will take cognizance of this. And I keep saying, if laws or regulations are printed on letters of gold and we fail to execute them to the letter, Madam Speaker, they have no use. They have no use. And it goes without saying, charity begins at home. What is very, very important and quite significant as National Assembly members, we must be seen as pace setters. If we are seen as pace setters, others will emulate us and they will copy us. We are human beings. At times when people, they fail to rise up and address the speaker inadvertently. That's human. But some, as I always say, they are perpetual in terms of abusing. And I think we should be mindful of such things. Because when we make rules and regulations, we must not be found wanting in terms of violating them. If an outsider violates the modus operandi of this House, that will not be seen as something great. But if an insider violates, that will tantamount to an egregious violation, a conspicuous one for that matter. So I believe all of us will be cognizant and remind ourselves always that we are here to serve and we will serve diligently. Madam Speaker, I raise an alarm with regards to the grounds for removal of chairpersons. Madam Speaker, most of my colleagues jokingly thought that I was afraid. No, I was not afraid. In fact, I'm trying to help my opposite numbers. I'm trying to help my opposite numbers, chairs and their understudies, vice chairs. Because a rule for one is rule for all. And I believe all of us will do our utmost best to make sure we live up to expectations. But we can only live up to expectations, Madam Speaker, if we respect this document that is termed as the Bible and the Quran, that is the Constitution and the standing orders. This is very comprehensive, and we are the authors of this document. We are the authors of this document. So it is therefore expected for us to respect the contents that are embedded in this document. Madam, it must not be difficult for us to give respect to this document. Because we are the architect. We are the architect. So who is to blame when this document is thrown under the bus? Our very selves. I think the best thing for us to do is to rise to the occasion and hold the fort so that this document will be given its meaning. And I hope that will be done, because the assembly composed of men and women of integrity, men and women of sharp intellect and profound ability. And I hope you not let me down. Thank you.
Member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. Madam Speaker, I would like to thank the Standing Committee for a job well done. Madam Speaker, I also want to look at page 1, number 5. That is amendment of Standing Order number 61. That is number 1, 2, and 3. I want to look at number 2. That is limiting the time for the intervention of the National Assembly members to a particular bill or a motion. I think the way it is, it should be like that, so that members will be able to express their views. We should not be at rush. We should not be at rush just to put a time frame on it and say, yes, this is the time frame. Even you don't put your ideas across, we close. No. I think we should, do things correctly. To me, there shouldn't be any time frames. The way we are, let us leave it like that. If the member is not putting things in order, it is the duty of the speaker to put him or her in the right place. To say that, yes, you are debating. Concentrate on this. This is what we are discussing. I think that is the right thing, rather than to say that we want to limit the intervention of the members. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would want the mover to please explain these two things for me. That is page 2, 143, that is traveling outside. Number 1A, in an official capacity shall give notice to the speaker. To that effect, yes, We know that when we are on session and we want to go, we know that it is the duty of the assembly that process that. We all know that. They know that. Okay? But we, in a private capacity that affect his or her official function, should give notice to the speaker at that effect. I want the mover to explain, because these two things you are giving shall. So what about in an event, you are going for a private thing, and you don't inform the speaker about that? Huh?
The office of the speaker.
The offices, yes. It's because of the offices. You are in that office. You are in that office. Because of, he mentioned speaker there. That's why I also mentioned speaker. He don't say office. He says speaker. That's why I also say that. Okay? I want you to explain that for me. Yeah, I want that area to be explained. Honorable Speaker, we look at the same page 2, number 7, Standing Order 97. 98, voting of no confidence for the chairperson, vice chairperson. Madam Speaker, as others have put it, we have members here. They are in a particular committee, and they are not attending those committees meetings. And we are also saying that, and there was something that happened here, Madam Speaker, and we are not talking about that. We have to be transparent in anything that we are doing. This office does not belong to anybody. It belongs to all of us. We all want to see that this country move forward. But anything that we are doing, let us consult each other. I'm not anti to anybody. But if I'm with you, whatever you are doing, if it affects me, I should know it. If it affects me, I don't mean when it don't affect me, no. But when it affects me, I should be put in picture to know that, yes, this is actually what is happening. That is the chairpersons. What is happening? It should come to this house here. We debate about it, but it was not debated. We just see things like that, and it is still going on. After the chairperson, you have the vice chairperson, and you have the rapporteurs. And you said when there is a report, when the chairperson is not there, is the vice chairperson. And after you said any other member. And the rapporteurs are there. The reason why the rapporteurs are not functioning is simply because maybe they are not giving their dues. Maybe they are not giving their dues. That's why they are not. Because if you put, and sort of encouragement for the chairperson, and you leave the rapporteurs there, do you think that they will perform? They will not perform, Madam Speaker. Let's see and put something for them. You see whether they will not perform. They will perform. They will perform. So therefore, when there is a report, if the chairperson is not there, the vice is there, let them give it to the vice or to the rapporteurs. But we cannot just leave it open like that and see any other person. What is their function then? Because we don't give them something, that's why they are relaxing. Let us give them something so that they can also, participate, or they reach up to the expectation. Madam Speaker, I think I have exhausted. I was going on. On the whole, I have exhausted all my points. So thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. Thank you.
You see, speaking for 5 minutes, you can say a lot in 5 minutes. You see, you got carried away. Honorable Member for Woolly East.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. May I have only two issues. One, the issue that he just raised about rapporteurs. I believe that rapporteurs played a very important role in meetings. They take notes. I am rapporteur for environment, and I take every note and engage in report writing. I think my chairperson can attest to that. So rapporteurs are in tune with, all aspects of reporting, report writing, and so on and so forth. They also engage in a lot of editing. If you do your job as a rapporteur, you do a lot of work. So I think in these assemblies should recognize them. We should not just put them there, but we should recognize them so that they do their role, they play their role. I'm not talking about the money aspect, but at least the signing of a report, I think, should be given to them. In case the chairperson or the vice chairperson is not present. Also in 98.2D, I believe should read dishonesty instead of dishonestly. You've seen it. 98.2D. I think it's the last the page before the last. Page 3, where you have 2.3D. You've seen it. Dishonestly or any other action. I think it's dishonesty. You've seen it. The English. All right, thank you.
Yes. Any more interventions? Yes, Yamina. And please, any more interventions?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I just need one clarification regarding the issue of traveling. If any member is traveling within or outside the country, whether in an official mission or on a private mission, I don't know actually what are the means in which one can use in order to relate that communication, whether the way in which we are doing it now is to text the individual, or if there is any specific email that one can use, because sometimes maybe writing a document while you have an emergency issue going out somewhere, when actually you were supposed to come on a sitting and you couldn't come, will there be any specific email that one can use to relay such information in case there is that emergency and you don't have the opportunity to write or relate or drop that letter to the office of the Speaker? Thank you.
I'll then invite the chair of the Standing Order Committee. Yes, Honorable Chair, please. Thank you. You can respond.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think I forgot to say so, but I think I'll begin my responses by first thanking the member for Jara East and the member for Balibu Central. They were co-opted when we had our last meeting, and they participated very actively in the discussions. And we are very grateful to you for that. Madam Speaker, the issue raised by almost everybody on the amendment of 61 is the time. There are many occasions in which we speak here. We speak on substantive motions. We speak on other matters which are not necessarily substantive, as for example, when we are speaking on the budget. You are speaking on a bill, you know. I don't think that's what the reference is about. But there is also, in fact, a provision in the standing orders where your time is limited. For example, when ministers come here for questioning, you know that. And the whole intention is to render the work of this assembly effective and efficient. We must know that this assembly operates in a different way from other assemblies. In Ghana, for example, they don't sit for only every 3 months. They sit every month, throughout. So they have a lot of time to talk, a lot of time to do work. If you consider what we are doing now for the whole of this month, we are going to deal with all these matters. And the time is very short. The matters that we are dealing with in 1 month, they are too much. So, but in some cases, where it is not necessary for me to speak for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or even an hour, I used to speak for an hour, 2 hours in that assembly on certain matters. And somebody else was speaking almost 3 hours on some other matters. But if you feel that, because we are just trying to see how efficient we can do things in this assembly. But if you feel that you should be left to speak as you want, because sometimes we do speak unnecessarily. I'm very sorry to say that we speak unnecessarily. Sometimes you hear somebody say, well, I don't have much to say, I agree with what's up. Sit down then. Like the French, when they say, je suis d'accord avec ce qu'il vient de dire, mais, if you say mais, then there's an essay. That's what we are trying to avoid. Like Madam has just said, 5 minutes, I can say almost everything I want to say in 5, everything of substance about a matter in 5 minutes, in 3 minutes. So that's what it is up to us to consider. Do we want to spend the whole day here on a matter which we can deal with in an hour? Sometimes we spend hours on something that we can deal with in only 1 hour. Think about it yourselves. So it's up to us. For us, it is up to you to decide. Do you want us to be staying here the whole day when you should be there just for 1.5 hours? It's up to you. Now, the honorable member for Upper Cell, I think, yes, I understand what you are saying. I think the minister's is not a report, it's actually responding to that report. That's what exactly we mean. So we'll reframe that, we'll change the word in there. Now this question of signing the report. You talk about rapporteur. I'm very sorry to say, I'm a chair of 2 committees. And I'm a vice chair of 1. I'm a member of other committees. None of this, honestly speaking, none of this does a rapporteur does what he or she is expected to do. None. None of them. The honorable member for Willie is different. I know what he said, I know is correct. He does it. But he is one out of all the others, because I have not come across anybody who does that, what he says he is doing. And I know he is doing it. The rapporteur complained that they are not giving anything, so they will not do anything. That's what they say. But the essence of the rapporteur is to take notes. In PAP, my first year, I was a rapporteur for 5 years for Education Committee. I was writing report in collaboration with the secretary. He would write, or she would write, I would write. Then we compare our notes, and then compile them and have a report. That's the essence of it. But here, that's not happening. So the issue of signing is very simple. Chairperson, vice chairperson, or any member of the committee. What problem do you have with that? Rapporteur is part of that. Rapporteur is part of any member of the committee, particularly when he or she is doing her job efficiently. Automatically, everybody say, okay, the rapporteur can sign. But if they are not, they are like anybody, any member of the committee, no difference. So again, look at it for us that any member of the committee is enough for us. I think that is, well, I agree with the member for Yara East. You don't make laws for the simple idea of making laws. You don't make rules for the simple idea of making rules. We make laws and rules to guide us to action, to help us not to commit errors, to help us to do what we are doing in an efficient way. But if we make them, we don't respect them, or we don't read them. And that's it. We don't read them, because these standing orders, you have to read them to understand. And there is an interconnection among the others. There is an interconnection between Standing Order 53C and 97. If you just cite 53C and see that's the end of it, you are making a mistake that somebody was arguing the other day, wrongly. And the speaker corrected him. So I think we make this rule for us to embrace them, to read them and know each time. In fact, the correct thing is when you are when you are saying point of order, you must cite an order on which you are going to base yourself. Observation, you must cite an order on which you are going to base yourself. But you cannot just say and say point of order, full stop. No, c'est pas comme ça. It can't be like that. You have to cite, you have to, like lawyers in court, they always back themselves with citations from authorities. You can't just say this, but you must back it up. And then that means you are convincing me to accept what you are saying. But you have no basis on which you are standing to attack me. I will attack you also. That's the whole thing. So I agree with him 100% that we must make this document. We have two fundamental documents. The Constitution should be our Bible. The standing orders must be our Bible. So that when you cite something, nobody will attack you unnecessarily. You will always hammer him or her. You see, sometimes we do that. When the Minister of Agriculture was here, you know, he hammered his head, the honorable member for Sun. He also hammered the member for so he was proving to you that even though you are the member for that country, I know it better than you. So this is what we must not allow. So I think this is. And then this traveling thing, I think when we read, we must just read and try to understand what we read. It is very clear what we are saying here. 3 categories. When you are traveling in your official capacity, no problem. Because you cannot go without them. It is they who prepare everything. Your ticket, your arrangements, the office of the clerk does everything for you. So you cannot go without notice. That is automatic. And it is obligatory. You cannot go without it. The other thing is, when you are traveling, and it affects your official functions. I'll try to give you an example. Yesterday afternoon, you didn't see me here? Did you? I didn't just jump out. I took permission from the Honorable Speaker because one of my constituents' wife passed in the hospital. And my question was whether the dead body was going to be taken to Willie or going to be buried here. So I took permission that affects, it was private, but it affects my functions officially. So I had to take permission. That's what we mean. It's obligatory for me. I cannot just jump out of this parliament. That means very rude. It means that I'm not irresponsible. I'm not even a member. Because I cannot just, that's an insult to the assembly itself. Just to walk out and think you are free to go. No, there is somebody here who is exercising authority over us as far as presence is concerned. So you must take permission from that person. We say speaker because the speaker is the authorizing person. And the law says the speaker, you must get permission from her or him. So that's it. So that's what we mean. But the third one is, you are in your home, in Balibu Central, Sali Kenya, for example, no session, but you want to travel. You had a good mind and say, well, I'm traveling, but anything can happen. Let me just inform the office where I am going, so that in case they need me, in case somebody needs me through them, they'll give that person the correct information about me. That's what you mean. It's not obligated. If you like, do it. If you don't like, don't do it. That's why we say may. But the other two are shall. You must. I could not have gone out here yesterday without informing her prior. Because I was here officially. But what I was going to is private to me. The two collide. So the one affect the other. So I must get permission. And authority say, well, you can go. Even though you are in say somebody is important, you can go. That's what we mean. Do you have problem with that? You can't have problem with that. I'm 100% sure you don't have problem with that. I think basically your queries centered about these main points here. But if, yes, is there anything I have left?
Speaker, can I observe? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yes, thank you. Thank you, Honorable.
I think he's just told us that you need to cite authority.
Yes, I will do so. Honorable Speaker, if you look at Standing Order 46, where we have the questions for written answer, I want to remind Honorable Jata whether there is a need for us to be given written answers, because I could remember previously that helped us to prepare ourselves in the supplementary questions, rather than the ministers coming up with the oral answers. You know, before there was a practice, we have written answers, and these written answers help us to prepare ourselves with the supplementary questions. I thought we can still include that, you know, in ministers' response. They provide us with, you know, written answers. I think that should be part of this recommendation. I could remember during the meeting we really talked about it. I don't know whether it was an oversight.
Well, you're just introducing a new element, as per your standing orders.
You think you are cute? Honorable member thinks that he is very cute. But, you know, currently there are 3 ways of asking questions, or even more, if I don't know, my memory serves me well. What we are talking about is one, and there is another one. You can write written questions to a minister with written answers to you, even out of session. And he or she is bound to answer in 10 days, within 10 days. You are supposed to have written answers. Now, the current practice is, the minute you ask your question, but in fact, when you're writing your question, it's oral questions. It's a contradiction in any way, because it's not oral question, because you write and you read. So, but for me, that's how we call them. But to be frank, you write your answer and the minister comes. He or she writes their answer, they read it, because for me, they read their answers. They come here with prepared answers with them. I was complaining the other day, because if we go by language, if I say oral questions, it means I just come and stand. I say, Minister so-and-so, without any written question. I say, why is it that your experiment is failing? The teaching of national language, why is it failing? And then see, without paper, we also stand and say, it is failing because we don't have money or we don't have qualified personnel. That I understand to be oral questions. Huh? So, currently they answer, and then afterwards they give you their answers. That's what they are doing. They give you their answers after the process. So you are free again to look at those answers again. And that's why this writing question is important. If you look at the answers and you feel that there is a lacuna, there is a gap in the answers, you can write a written question to the minister concerned, and he or she is bound to write you back answering that with written answers. That's what we have done. No, but it's up to you again. If you think that's not satisfactory to you, well, you can come up with whatever you have, but for me, I have no problem with it. The only problem I have that we say oral when it is written. There is no orality there.
But I think we are being over generous with the honorable member. Yes.
Yes, the honorable member for Yamina is, you see, there are many ways of informing. The other one, which is obligatory, you know that if you are traveling, you don't even need to write because they already know. It is they who inform you that you are traveling, they arrange that. That's one. But if you are here, like we are in session now, you want to go, and you want permission to go, you have to write. Or if you can physically go and speak to the speaker, fine. If you cannot, you have your telephone, you can send an email, and you can also write. Whatever it means, you can. But the fact is, you must get an answer permitting you to go. Where it is obligatory. The other one, where it is optional, you are private, you have no session, you are in Yamina East. You want to go to Willie. You don't, if you like, you say, okay, clerk, I want to inform the speaker that I'm traveling to Willie. But you take your telephone, send a WhatsApp or whatever. Even if you don't get an answer, that does not prevent you from going. You are informing them. You are not, it's not necessarily taking permission, but you are informing them so that they know your whereabouts. The other two, it is you are seeking permission, which is obligatory. I want you to understand these three things. Two, you must get permission. The third one, it is just an information, so that they know where you are. In case somebody wants you or they need you, they will know where to contact you. That's all. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. The two are the same. You must get permission. The last one, just information. It's not a question of asking them to permit you to move about. That is then disturbing with your freedom of movement. Have I answered your question?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Thank you, honorable members. Now I'll put the question, be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do approve the motion to amend the standing orders of the National Assembly 2019 edition. Those with amendments, yes. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. So the ayes have it. Thank you, honorable members. We've come to the end of today's business, and I now put the question, be it resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned till Monday, the 29th of June, 2020 at 10 a.m. prompt. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. The Assembly now stands adjourned till Monday, the 29th of June, 2020 at 10 a.m. prompt. Thank you very much and have a nice weekend.
Love like fire. Wow. fan la skincare la 2020 lañ wax de waaw fii nag mooy Kerr fan Kerr zero tache perfect skincare saa su ne rek niñ ko dee defee rek loo lañ soxlaati rek maanaam bu ngeen am problème ci seen skin yéen xam ngeen fan la fii ngeen di ñëw suma xarit yeeg am di jàmm yi nga xam ne taas daf lañ sonaloon xam nga doon xeesal bel laka xum éneew ma lañ ko nag waaye just in case comme ni ko gars yi di waxee rek en cas just in case loolu xew xam ngeen fi ngeen di ñëw skincare plus si yu baax rek la ñoo dox nag ay baax rek fu ne la ñoo dem ci réew mi di lañ indi rek nag products yu baax du Paris du Italie du USA du fi mu nekk nii sax boole nañ ci nag Sweden fu nekk lañ leen a indilee products bu dee tamit nag da nga ñuul rek ñu lay jamaa natural beauty that melanin dripping we do have stuff for you as well emuñ si skincare products rek ñu ngi ci cuub yi tamit fu ne la ñoo jaar in fact sax last commercial bi ñu defoon waxuñ leen woon ne dañoo dox ci ay kawar 9A grade rek nag waaw we do have bundles as well hair si lu ne la ñoo dox ñun ñu ngi ci rafetal jigéen rek luy taaral jigéen rek waaw boo leen di tukki tamit bëggoon rek classic suitcase ñu dañoo dox ci ay Samsonite duñ dee indi any brand of suitcases though other than Samsonite comme li ma dee wax rek boo eggee airport dëri Samsonite dafa am nuñ laa xoolee waaw ngeen ne lan nag waaw skin ci moom la ñu gën a xamee nag skincare products ci moom la ñu gën a xamee ñu ngi dox tamit bentey tamit si ay dàlla man waaye man nag skincare mooy suma specialty xam nga rek jigéen bu sa xar kanam réglé loo def mu jag am nañ Patricia Reiner Kiwi Eye the whole range Lighten Up Gold Tomatine I mean the list can just go on and on and on and on lépp loo xam ne rek luy taaral jigéen la ci yooyu rek la ñoo dox skincare plus nag emuñ si Gambia rek ñu ngi United States ñu ngi Gambia fii ba pare bu dee yaa ngi anywhere in Europe mun nañ la ko mail within 3 days rek ñetti fan rek nga jot say diw emuñ si loolu rek dañ laa consult tamit balaa ñu laa jaay diw dinañ def a free consultation pour wax la rek exactly li nga xam ne moo méngoo ak sa kanam dinañ leen wax tamit ne rek am nañ perfumes fragrances men's shirts accessories we do dresses as well we do blouses I mean we do shoes name it we do them Skincare Plus 2020 is our year of perfection zero task fi mu nekk nii réew mi fii kenn waratu fi task kenn waratu fi am problème kanam kenn waratu fi am problème yu picca boo ko amee dafa fekk ne rek ñëwuloo ci place bi fii
love like fire bring my love like fire
Stewart & Co. Solicitors, a legal excellence firm in London that can help you with all aspects of your legal work. If you are looking at immigrating to the United Kingdom, Stewart & Co. can help you to set up business, buy houses in the UK, and will deal with all your legal works from start to finish.
For all your general immigration work, we can help you with that as well. If you're applying for any form of visa, whether student visas, settlement visas, marriage visas, or a child wanting to come to the United Kingdom to settle with the family, we can help you to achieve your goals.
Stewart & Co. Solicitors, a legal excellence firm specializing in conveyancing, immigration, litigation, family law, personal injury, licensing, no win, no fee. Contact us today at www.sk-solicitors.com.
No, ini bara. Alright, okay. Welcome. Basically, lots of lala me along is cool, man. That I can really relax. What the madam? Yeah, that's what the madam? Yeah. Let them do somebody. That's right. Grand villa. That's fine. Slowly. Yes. No. Yeah, actually, a lot of people are basically me alone because they relax. So it's okay, so that I can understand. Nina Fani say what? Nidia, Nena Grand Villa is the best guest house in the Gambia.
Beji andikam Grand Villa Guest House. Na labungul bebe senyaring adu na bungul bebe nyarandiring coming ibela fila ila suwe taranyame. Ntel Grand Villa na kiliano la lafino wale mukanwatin telkang. Na ye sabati Grand Villa yela kodo na fa kalamuta.
Oh man, this is like a paradise. I know. I so much love this place.
Thank you.
Trust me, I love this place.
You come to somebody and watching what?
Yeah.
I know to Gambia. Grand Villa.
I tell you. I love this place. Okay. I love this place, man. Oh yeah.
Ni lefta na kuo keso sotola. Futama Oljuntum Paradise Estate. Mbaya kumandiroke 7527-218. Wale futana website auto www.grandvillaguesthouse.com. Grand Villa Guest House.
Miss B Designer Outlet is the #1 quality and affordable stop shop for all your needs. Get your evening dresses, suit and ties, office wears for both ladies and gentlemen, beach wears, sport wears, pure leather shoes for men, quality belts, bags, heels for all beautiful ladies, original perfumes, accessories, and a lot more. Find us at Kololini Road opposite Gaddafi Mosque at the Aqua Bridge Station, or call us on 295-3411 or 764-2486. Miss B Designer Outlet. Shop right, look good.